Owen here. I'm from the 44 group, which is a group of Spanish restaurants in Bristol and South Wales. We've spent 20 years being incredibly passionate about modern Spanish food. And it's been ages since we've come to Devon, but Tom offered us to come down, and it's amazing to see just incredible produce down here, and to be cooking with crab and lobster. A big affinity with Spain and Devon in terms of the level of produce you can get your hands on. And today I'm going to do 2 recipes for you. Maybe a little bit of plugging of our new book, which is out. Everyone can buy it online. And the recipes are from there. We're going to do an Arroz Melosso, which is a wet Spanish rice with crab, lobster, prawns and mussels. You will get to try that at the end. And a little fun one in there, which is a little tapa. Going to do a savoury churros with crab and prawns. And we're going to do a crab and sherry alioli with that to dip in it as well. Please ask lots of questions. Fitz is here to field them, go around, do all that sort of stuff.
How do you make mayonnaise?
Did anyone see the last demo? Did anyone see the last demo? It's quite hard following Freddie Bird, but gladly he messed up royally. So I made my alioli at home, so I knew it wouldn't mess up. So there we are.
Brilliant. Where are you going to start on this dish?
So we're going to get going with the churros. Obviously, you'd all know churros very well, being a sweet treat from Spain, classic breakfast item, which you'd have with thick hot chocolate or something like that. But it's amazing to use as a savoury dish. So we're making almost like a choux paste first, and we're going to flavour that with a bisque that we made with crab and prawn heads and shells. So we're going to start off hoping this is on. Yeah. Start off making your paste. So I got a couple of 100 grams of butter there.
That's known as a James Martin size lump of butter.
Yeah, have you seen the front cover of his new book?
Oh God, no. Now
He's
what's he
looking
done?
at a butter like this, like he wants to do something to it. Yeah. I don't love butter as much as him.
Sorry, smallest dog in the room causing a fight.
So we're going to make the churros paste first, because that'll need to cool down. I'll put it in a piping bag. Then just before we plate up at the end, I'll fry it off fresh for you once it's cooled down. So I'll do the paste, we'll put it to one side, and then we'll get the rice going. Okay. So just need to melt that. Then we're going to add our flour. Once that's melted, cook the flour out so it's not a raw flour taste. And then we're going to add the stock. You can probably smell the stock from here, can you? You might be able to smell the stock in the background. There. This is not the most powerful of hobs. But here we are. There we are. If anyone didn't know, we've got 5 restaurants in Bristol and South Wales. Bar44, Tapas Y Copas, based on sort of modern, contemporary tapas. Asador 44, which is our fire cooking restaurant, cooking big old cows over fire, basically, with lots of seasonal veg. And we're just about to open a hotel next month, Parador 44, just a small 10-bedroom hotel in Cardiff. So
ideal.
Based on Spanish paradors, if you've ever been to paradors in Spain, beautiful routes, you can go and stay in them around the country. So if anyone's down in Cardiff for the rugby, maybe come and see us.
Love to.
Don't know what's going on there.
Something appears to be burning.
Something's burning and I'm not even doing anything.
So.
Can you see that under? Can you see that paste? No?
Freddie, what did you leave on the oven?
Can everyone see that choux paste in there or not? So that's going to thicken up. You want to cook that out a little bit, that roux essentially, before then we add the crab stock. And I'm going to add about 450 mils of that. And then we're going to whisk in a couple of eggs. before then adding in our crab and prawns. There you are. All right.
Oh, question.
How do you make the
How
stock?
do you make the stock, Owen?
So, start off, it's a classic bisque. Obviously, when it comes to me, everything involves sherry. So, you sweat off all your classic braising vegetables. Some pepper paste, tomato puree, a little bit of saffron. Deglaze it all with a rich, dry sherry. And then water. And you're going to cook that out for a couple of hours. You can reduce it as much as you like. Even turn it into a soup, classic French style, or we use it in the restaurants for all our rices. And it's obviously when you use a homemade stock, and you've got fresh lobsters and crabs and things like that, as Freddie said earlier, never waste anything. So all your crab shells, prawn heads, things like that, that's where all your biggest flavour is.
Can you just tell us about the sherry that you're selling today and using today?
Yeah, so this pretty bottle here, blue one, is our own Manzanilla. Any sherry fans at all?
Yeah.
Few? Yeah, good. Sherry is pretty cool these days, if anyone didn't know. People my age are drinking it again, and even younger. And it's super, super dry, like a white wine. If Freddie, can you pour some Manzanilla in a wine glass just to show people here's the new Ollie Smith. Look a bit like him. Sorry? Ollie Smith. And it's we're going to pass some samples of this sherry round to you as well. It's bone dry, basically, which is the opposite of what people might think in the UK when it comes to grandma's sherry and those sort of sweet tipples. Dot Cotton, rest in peace. She used to have one for medicinal purposes, but it's got 0 sugar in, so it's practically a health drink. And then it's not as strong as people think either. So this, my wife will attest that I keep a bottle of this in the fridge at all times in the door. And a Friday night, come home and I'll drink that like I would a glass of white wine, like your Sauvignon Blanc, your Pinot Grigio. Drink sherry like this from the fridge, nice and cold, and not in a thimble. So give it a proper wine glass. Did you show that up, that wine glass?
I did.
He did show it, yeah.
Okay.
It's like champagne, sherry, and martinis are the only. That's all you need in life.
Especially with seafood, yeah. And the classic accompaniment with Manzanilla would be like red prawns. They're just absolutely beautiful. Next step, I've just diced down some of these lovely prawns I put in the stock. I've diced them down, sweated off some garlic and olive oil. And we're just going to cook those off for 1 minute, and then they're going to go into the churros paste. So that'll be piped out at the end. That's that. This has been cooked out now. This doesn't seem to be working, this hob anymore. Anyone on the hob? Tom?
I've actually got a job, madam. So are you...
Okay.
Oh, you've been told you're going to share. Oh, right, okay. So anyone else like a... Yes, oh, I thought you might... Oh, no. The trembling hands go up.
Right.
Hang on. Could I just... More sherry needed. Quick and coming.
So we're ready to add the bisque
Got 2 more here.
to our roux.
One there. One over there.
And you'll
I'll
see,
be back.
just like making a gravy or anything like old school style, it will suck this liquid up very quickly. And just add it a little bit at a time. Add a little bit more. Smells amazing already. Good. Smell those sweet prawns. Try and get the best prawns you can, not farmed, if possible, where they do horrible things to them, and add chemicals to preserve them. want wild prawns if at all possible. Look at the waitress. Look at that. Okay. Holly. For this, yeah, so someone's just asked if you could use other seafood with it. Of course you can. So in the bar where we have fun little specials, I make sort of not necessarily seafood at all. We'll do it with black pudding. Or you could do confit duck and shred it into a churros mix, but using chicken stock with it or something like that. So it's a lovely... The churros paste is just a vehicle to use.
Sherry's gone down very well, I hasten to add.
Yeah, any feedback on the sherry? Is it too dry and shocking for people?
Or just right? Excellent. Could we crack open the other case?
Zero sugar. So what you'll find is with this sherry, it might be a little bit of a shock first time you have it. Like when you have olives or black coffee or black tea when you're young.
Bloody dangerous.
But the more you have it, the more you like it. So that seems to be the way. Okay. Can you crack me in 4 eggs?
Yeah. Where are they?
Here.
Into there.
I'm going to take this off
Do you
it.
want me to whisk them up first?
Yeah, if you can whisk them into there.
In that?
Yeah. Freddie's just going to whisk up the eggs. You can see the paste here. You've got your prawns nicely cooked, smelling sweet, into the batter. Freddie's doing the eggs. I'm going to do some parsley. And then we're going to put some crab meat through that as well and leave it on the side and fry it up last second. Got your whisk?
Should we beat it in?
Please, yeah.
It's not really going to work, is it?
So Freddie's, it was all going really well, and then Freddie come up again, and
Hold the handle. Is that your mayonnaise?
so there's going to be 3 of us now.
There we go.
How many chefs does it take to stir a frying pan? You don't have to do it slowly like a mayonnaise.
Oh, sorry, darling.
So-
He was my head boy at school and he's still telling me what to do.
I was your head boy at
He
school.
was my head boy at school.
He's a lot younger than me. Does he look it? I don't know.
Says the man who says the young are drinking sherry.
The young people are drinking sherry. My daughter drinks sherry. Cool. And then, it's lovely.
Get it everywhere. He had a go at me for my mess earlier on.
And now you're making another
I know,
mess.
this is your turn.
What's he doing? Yeah.
Come over here. Get Jane on board as well.
Come on, Jane. Over there.
My
Sort the mess out.
God, man. Jesus.
I'll tell you up. How's your... Where's Steve?
And I'm just going to be, because it's all about bank holiday indulgence, some lovely white crab in there. And that's going to sit on the side then and cool down once the mess is out of the way.
Oh. Do you want my help again? Or should I
Yeah,
go?
can you turn this on?
I can't, it's covered in prawns.
So,
Could you use the brown meat as well?
brown meat would be lovely, which I'm going to use in the alioli for it in a minute.
Owen and the cast of
You
thousands.
just filmed it as well.
I say it's Owen and the cast of thousands at the moment.
Yes,
You've been
yeah.
Matt, does brown meat taste any different to white? I mean,
It's a bit earthier and richer, and the white meat is sweeter and more delicate, I would say.
And
You'd use them for different things, yeah.
and it comes from a different part of the crab? Yeah?
Yes, and but equally, you could use it for the same recipes, but you'd have quite different flavour profile in the results,
Right.
I would say. So we're going to go on to our rice now. I've made here a sofrito, which if I'd made it a la minute in front of you, it would have taken about 2 hours. So brought it with me. It's just all, you know, Mediterranean cooking, all the good things start with olive oil, garlic, often peppers and herbs. So that's going in there, some tomato paste, some pepper paste. And the longer you cook that out for and the sweeter those onions and peppers become, the better the end result, really. So it starts with that. Let's give this another stir. Warm that up, and then we're going to add our rice. I'm sure you're all used to cooking risottos and things like that at home. This is a bomba rice from southeastern Spain, Valencia and Murcia region. Short grain rice, and you know the beauty of them is that they absorb up to 3 times or more than 3 times their volume in liquid. So they're a flavour carrier basically, and with the stock that we've made, it's going to produce just amazing flavoured rice. But you could use Italian rices, arborio, canaroli, things like that, as long as it's a short grain rice, not a long grain rice.
Spain actually grows its own rice? Spain actually grows its own rice?
Yeah, Spain is one of the sort of huge European countries for rice in the southeast regions. The Arabs brought rice to Spain in 711 AD when they came and conquered for 500 years or so. So it became huge then. They also brought distillation to Spain, so the booze thing went through the roof then. That would be a generic rice, really good to use, but we're using an organic single plot rice. It's the same. You could, rice geeks amongst you, you could go on for hours about, you know, like you could with wines and regions and stuff like that with Stars of Rice. Like this rice and the red thing, they're even into dry aging rices these days and things like that. So it's a bit crazy. So we're ready to add stock. Have you got the measuring jug? Yeah. I just used it. Nah. There we go. And again, you're going to use about normally 3 times the amount of stock to rice in terms of weight. But because this is an Arroz Melosso, it's going to be a wet rice, not a dry rice like a paella. You want to probably add more because you want it quite loose. So you bring that to the boil if this gets to the boil again. And then you're just going to leave it to its thing. It's already smelling amazing. Get that up. And it takes about 15 minutes. And all we're going to do along the way is add whatever seafood you've got going on. So the crab and prawn shells you've used for the stock, I'm just going to pop that on there a sec. Let's try and get the heat going. And then I'm going to add, because we've got them, some prawns which we've shelled the bodies of, some chipirrones, which are baby cuttlefish, which would be lovely, mussels, and Freddie's leftover monkfish. You didn't use much. Did you use any?
I did.
Yeah.
I just forgot there were quite so many people who might have wanted to try.
So, and that's what we're going to do. And then, so whilst that's on the go now, I'm going to quickly make the crab alioli as well. And again, so there's the white crab in the churros. I'm going to use white and brown in the alioli, and then probably garnish the churros with the white crab as well, just because. And this brown crab, obviously it's not pretty like the white crab, but it's going to give you so much flavour. Pop that in there. whisk it all up, and then you're just adding alioli, some lovely sea salt, and lemon. Excuse me. So this alioli, obviously in France, aioli, Spain, alioli. Good egg yolks, lots of garlic, sherry vinegar, really good olive oil, and good sherry as well. Seems to be a theme going on. There we are, that's boiling already. And you could actually use this as a garnish for your rice as well. A lot of Spanish rices will have an alioli with it. But we're going to use it for the churros. Just do this. Fresh lemon, fleur de sal. And that's that made. You could put chives and parsley through it as well. May do after. So that is that. You can see that bubbling away. Turn it down slightly. One big difference between Italian rices and Spanish. Obviously your risottos, you're looking to stir the rice all the time to release those starches. Spanish rices, you almost never stir. It's a bit of a no-no. So you want to keep them quite clean. Okay, so that's going to keep bubbling away, adding flavour. What do we do now? We can do the churros now.
Is there less starch in Spanish rice?
There is a little less than your Italian rice is, but the more you work it, the more it will release it. So it would become creamy, like a risotto, if you were doing that. So, yeah. So if the churros goes wrong, I'm blaming Freddie because he added the eggs. It looks a bit wet. So if it goes wrong, it's your fault. So you got piping bag here. I didn't have a nozzle, so I'm just going to snip the end off, and it will just be. We won't have the frilly shape you normally have. It'll just be like this. I forgot actually, so I need to. What's that for? Seasoning. There we go. Things always take more salt than you think. In fact, I'll just do that bit again. Yes, please, mate.
It's a bit wet.
All right.
The eyes he gave me earlier on, I don't know if anyone saw it. I still feel a little bit funny.
Making a habit of this, aren't we?
I love this. I told him earlier on, I'm allergic to prawns and wheat, and he's just given me a batter with prawns in it.
I forgot about that.
They're wild, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just farm for me. I'm allergic to farm. It's the most middle class allergy I've ever had. Farmed prawns. I love it though. It's a great one to say. You say, are they farm prawns? No. You go, I'm allergic to them. We'll just go and find out. They go, they're farm prawns. I know for a fact these are always wild.
They are. Very good prawns.
Actually, that's that is a really good point. If anyone's coming up here, if you've got any allergies, for heaven's sake, let us know.
Any seafood allergies?
Don't.
An unlikely place to be, let's be honest. Crabfest.
Do not die at the front, because we just got to move you to the back, all right? So other people can't see.
Thank you, mate. Very useful.
Walk away backwards. Never turn your back on Owen.
Just going to snip the end off there. I'm hoping the fryer's on correctly. This is looking nice. Okay, I'd like to, in an ideal world, you'd leave this to cool down so it's nice and firm. but we're going to go for it now. Yeah. In fact, they're not puffing.
Is it working, Owen?
No, Fred.
I love the silence.
It's still a bit loose, so what I'm going to do is do it into a fritter with a spoon. So puff up. Just
Let it come out, shall we? Should we let them finish?
yeah, let's let them go over. Turn them over. Don't mess them up.
This is a sign of a true chef. If it doesn't work, change it. You still get success. Okay.
Well, a bit
That
much
piece
salt,
of
actually.
bullshit was brought to you courtesy of.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, is it done?
Yeah, you can.
He's doing it.
Good boy.
Okay.
Freddy's fritters.
These look delicious. They look perfect, Owen.
Right. So whilst Freddie's cooking my churros,
Can I just ask you about the wines? Because the white
Yeah.
wine, I've tried the white wine, fantastic. Just one glass. The white and the red, where are they from? What are
so the white, this one, Bar44, is a tiny bottling, about 1,000 bottles, from Ribeiro, Galician region. There's 5 native grapes, like a field blend, organic whites. So it's about 50% Albarino, and then Godeo, other local varieties. Perfect with these kind of dishes.
they? Yeah.
And the red is from Jumilla near Valencia, and it's Monastral, which is an old native varietal. People who like their French wines would know it as Mourvèdre, and it's been sort of revived in southeastern Spain with bush vine growing.
Okay.
And it used to be a bulking wine years ago for big, large produced wines. But these days, great winemakers are doing amazing things with sort of small bottlings of it, using it as a main varietal. So, really, really good. And we've got our beer here today as well.
Question, young lady at the front. Hang on, just a moment.
Hello,
Hello.
young lady.
Fun to see you. So if you had chilled down the batter, whatever we're calling it, the roux, before it had gone in the deep fat fryer, would it have been firm enough to pipe? Or
Yeah,
was it just too
absolutely.
many eggs? Was it just a cock up
But
on
now
the
it's a
front?
terrible job for a commie chef to to do. But they're
Face
coming
of the-
out.
This is now all my fault. Whatever
Yeah.
happens is all.
So if they were colder, maybe a little less stock in them, if I'm honest. But
They
they
look
taste
brilliant.
lovely.
They
Freddie.
look brilliant.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Those are the deep fried prawns.
The churros.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, he's still eating them.
Yeah. They are wild, aren't they?
They are wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Check
wild.
with Mabalco, but yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Otherwise, it's going to look pretty terrible the next time I turn round. With swollen lips.
So we diced some monkfish to go in with the rice, not quite ready yet to pop that in. We're just going to poach it last second slowly. Same with the mussels, same with the prawns. We will just sear off the cuttlefish.
Hang on, another question down here.
We got
Please don't let it
blasted.
be, what am I doing here?
Why bar
Seemed like a good
44?
idea
Why
at
the
the
number
time.
44? Is it like Heinz 57 or?
Why Bar44? Why 44?
Often get asked that because it seems to indicate nothing about the style of food and drink we do. But our original venue was in our little hometown of Cowbridge, which is about 20 minutes west of Cardiff. And we took over an old conservative club, of all things, and it was 44 High Street. So whoever said that. And it kind of, when we grew to our second site, we thought, should we change the name? Put the consensus out to a load of customers, and they said, you know what, you made a name in the local area, just keep it. So that was it. Yeah, yeah.
There we are.
But,
And Heinz never had 57 varieties. The time he named
Call
it,
your new
Mr.
restaurant
Heinz, he had over
Floppy
106,
churros.
but he thought 57 looked cool.
beignets, aren't they?
So it's a lot of cack.
Huh? So you can see that as well. I've just got some more olive oil on the go. This might spit up a bit because these cuttlefish are quite wet. These take seconds to cook, so small and tender. We'll add the little tentacles as well. All you need to do with that is take the beaks out, the only bit you can't eat.
What are my goggles?
By the way, all the recipes in the book?
These two are in the book, yeah. This rice is a brilliant thing you can use. I mean, in Spain, your rices would be a Sunday lunch dish, actually, rather than
Okay.
anything else. But put that in the middle of a table with a salad, some crusty bread, and as good as anything. Freddie's improving his skills here, that's good.
Oh, look at that.
And so we're just going to put a little bit of Ainsley style, putting your seasoning on. That's it. Susie Salt. That's what he calls it, Susie Salt. Oh. There we go. Some tongs. And just turn those over once they got a lovely brown colour.
Actually, personal question. Has anyone got one of those air fryers at home? Do they work? Because we were trying to get one. Yeah, they're okay. You know, chips and stuff seem to work. So I was looking, I woke up early this morning, I was watching some Sell It To You All TV channel, and they're about 100 quid. And I thought, yeah, okay. If they work, they work. Have you used them? Owen, are you?
I've never used an air fryer, no. No.
Just seems,
I should do, because it might be a bit healthier.
yep.
So I'm guessing they vary a lot in quality. Maybe you pay for what you get, I don't
And
know.
use a tiny amount of oil in them?
Yeah. Small amount of oil.
Freddie, you happy over there?
I'm always happy. Simple jobs, simple man. Bye.
Oh. Can I lick the spoon?
I've got more mix here. So that squid's cooked, and now this is thickening up a little bit. I'm going to add the mussels straight in. They'll just open up with that hot stock. And then we'll add things as and when you think they'll cook. So I've put the monkfish down into smaller little chunks. Prawns will take 2 minutes max. And then you just put the squid back through the last minute. And that's it. Right.
We're good.
We're good. So we're nearly there, actually. If anyone ever uses YouTube, I got pretty bored over lockdowns and started a YouTube channel. Tractors? No. Food. There was a lot of wine involved, and some days we'd be cooking all day and do different takes for videos, and by the time the blinking food was ready, I was a bit, worse for wear. But I did a poll on what people wanted to hear, about and what they wanted me to cook. And one thing was paella, which kept coming up, and I always think it's a bit of a misconception in the UK, probably because of sort of package holidays in the 70s and A-frames with laminated menus on the costas like outside with fluorescent looking paellas. So we did a video on paella, and it is an amazing dish. It's probably one of Spain's most iconic dishes globally still, but it's one that probably gets abused more than any other dish when you talk about dishes of certain countries. So we did a piece on that, and what came from it is obviously people think Spain and rice, they think paella. That's one type of rice, and it's a dry rice cooked in a flat pan, which the name comes from that paella pan. That this is another recipe, and there's probably 200 styles of rices throughout those regions in Spain. And you'd have a caldoso, which is very soupy, a melosso, which is like a wet rice risotto style, which is this, and a paella is always a dry rice. And that's the difference in those. And where you are, whether you're in the coast or in the country, the ingredients in it will vary due to what you've got around you. So the traditional style will be rabbit and snails and green beans, because it started out as a country dish, and the fish thing came afterwards when it moved to the coast. So I put now prawns in there, mussels are in, monkfish is in, everything's in.
Keep going, okay?
You're going to keep going. These are, a bit flat, but super, super tasty. We'll start laying them out for you. Who? Me? There's a paella place around the corner, is there? Apologies. There we are.
Everything that you're using today is available for sale here, yeah?
Everything we got. We work really closely with Tom, who's done so much work for the festival this weekend in this tent, and Mevalco, who is, for me, head and shoulders the best Spanish importer in the UK right now.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of the level of produce they work with. And we work with them from the very beginning. David, the founder, is meant to be here, stepping in from Spain, literally as we speak. He's not coming. No, he's having trouble getting back from Spain. But he used to be a vet in Spain and in the UK, I think, didn't he? But his love of produce was the sort of thing he always wanted to follow. And he turned up in literally a white van one day to Cardiff, and my brother said, "You got to come down and meet this guy." And I literally went into the back of his white van, and he got out all his black puddings. And we sat there, and we hit it off, and that was it, really.
From all the animals he couldn't save.
I don't mean to come out with these things.
It's funny, he showed me his sausage in the back of his van as well.
Did he?
You feel so special. He showed it to everybody.
He used a van.
And he's not here to defend himself.
He's not, no.
He's not.
He's having issues today.
Oh.
Is that a Spanish beer as well, or you just brought that one?
We brew this in Llantrisant in Wales, but it's brewed to our recipe. It's a pale ale Toro Blanco, and the idea was to sort of blend in a flavour profile that would go really well with our style of tapas. So sort of orange lemon zest in there with a bit of herbal, thyme and rosemary, and it's really good.
Anywhere near the vineyard or the mint? Is it?
It's by the Mint.
I know it. I know the brewery. Yeah,
it's right next to the Royal Mint. Literally next to the Royal Mint. Got some lemon zest going on top of here. White crab. And then I think once Freddie's finished the next batch, we're probably ready. Do you want paying for this?
Just beer.
No. And if anyone, I don't know, if people have seen our book, this is available Amazon, any good bookshop. It's 100 recipes and also a story about the last 20 years of our family company, so it's good fun. It's a drinks chapter, and everything's paired with a drink as well, which I think is important.
£25 today, and you'll sign it?
Oh yeah, Tom's there, all signed. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, I think our rice is ready. How are you?
Ready.
Yeah.
Good.
Chuck the last batch on there, and I will dish up. Any other questions?
Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? No? All happy? Those are looking. So they're not. They are fritters. Best description.
Yeah. Fritter churros fritters.
It's a new recipe.
It's a new recipe made today.
That's the Spanish cuisine board phoning now. Questioning.
Yeah, and then just tiny bit of salt at the end. bring it alive. And I'm going to take this off the heat now. You can see the texture of that. It's lovely and loose. And the thing about this, it will carry on absorbing once you plate it up. So don't keep it going because it will carry on absorbing that liquor and beautiful flavours. Let's see if I can get this on the plate without doing a U. Hang on. So there's the churros, crab alioli. And this rice is like this and never going to be all about the looks. They are all about the flavour and amazing produce. So
That looks fantastic.
on there. And there's enough for all of you probably. Here I use 400 grams of rice, about 1.5 litres of stock. And I'm going to put some more lemon over that.
Absolutely brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, just have a round of applause for Owen and sous chef
Yeah.
Freddie.
Thank you. So we've got plenty to come up. We've got loads of sample bowls, so come up and grab some.